Hey everybody, it is Justin, your guide into the Arbitrum Arcade, and I kind of want to talk about one of the biggest builders and platforms on Arbitrum, and that is Treasure, right? So what is Treasure DAO? What is Treasure? My easiest sentence I can say is that it's your all-in-one place to play your games as well as interact with marketplaces, a shared marketplace, that denominated in Magic. We'll talk about what Magic is used for in just a moment, but why don't we just break it down? Why don't we just get into it? So it's Treasure is building a gaming and entertainment powerhouse built and owned by all. Powered by Magic, it's basically a place where developers, creators, and players can build new experiences together. And again, one of the biggest themes in this cycle is where you can truly own your assets, right? We're seeing a lot of games, integrate into Web3. Game ownership is a really big thing, and having these marketplaces to, buy, sell, trade is really important, right? So again, there are a lot of games on Treasure, right? Whether that's Zverse, Tales of Illyria, Knights of the Aether, The Beacon, whether that's action games, card games, roguelikes, and stuff, stuff like that. There's always the genre that'll appeal to you. And, most of the games are free to play. So, you might as well try them, right? So we'll break down basically the games and the game roster, the quests, the rewards, tournaments, marketplaces, and how to use Treasure overall. Kind of go over, the features and stuff that you can access, especially if you're playing a lot of these games. But before that, if you're a builder too, right, there's resources for you as well. Light paper, there's a development kit, especially if you're building on Arbitrum, or if you want to go to the Treasure ecosystem with the Treasure chain. There's also stuff like your Treasure identity, and there's a lot of resources. But again, there's Bridge World here as well. It's the center of the Treasure multiverse. It basically bridges everything together, powered by Magic, and Magic is the native token of the Treasure ecosystem. And it'll make a lot more sense once we take a look at the marketplace, because everything's denominated in Magic. So why don't we just go and segue over to the Treasure landing page, and this will kind of show you all of the spotlight and the featured games here, whether that's Zverse, Kaiju cards, The Beacon, Zverse, of course, Knights of the Aether, and Kuro Beasts. This is kind of the place to kind of see everything, whether there are tournaments happening, quests going on, and stuff like that, as well as gameplay. So again, most of these are free to play. We'll kind of break down each of these things in just a moment, but what's the game roster, right? And so far, there are about 14 games on Treasure, right? There's, I already said everything before, but again, there's probably going to be a lot more as the ecosystem expands. We're relatively nascent in the space, so Treasure is a great place to kind of see what's already there. Kind of grind your games, get started early, right? I've been keeping my eye on The Beacon because I like roguelike games, as well as like dungeon crawlers, Knights of the Aether, Kuro Beasts. But why don't we just click on the game? It'll basically show you everything, an overview. It'll have a video as well as, in-game screenshots and, what the game is all about. It's built on, most of these are built on Arbitrum, right? Developed by independents, game status as well as the platforms. And you can also see total volume as well. I know my head might be in the way, but you can also see the genre: free to play, RPG, monster summoning, actions, and what kind of, whether it's single player or multiplayer. And again, if you're looking at the relevant collections, it's game ownership, right? So there are marketplaces, of course, right? So if you wanted to take a look at the marketplace, and it's going to make a lot more sense, if you're playing with Kuro Beasts, you have a description, you have all the links, basically, built on Arbitrum, you have the Twitter, the Discord, all the official links are here. So, things are really nice and, just all there in an overview for you. But, the currency, Magic makes a lot more sense, right? Because it's the shared, the currency across the entire Treasure ecosystem and all the games that are inside of it, right? So for this particular collection, the Kuro Beasts, you can see everything about it. You can purchase things in terms of Magic, and if you hover over it, you can also see what it is in terms of US dollars. So this is about $70. But again, you can see which ones you want to buy, especially if you're already playing the game. I mean, if you have stuff that you don't want to grind out or sell, you can just sell it. And if there's stuff that you want to save up for and get better stuff, you could you can trade your way up and improve your gameplay, especially if you are already grinding the game, right? So if you click on the specific asset, you can see everything about it. Of course, you can see the name, the owner, and it functions like a basic marketplace. And these this is really important, right? You can buy your stuff here. You can place bids. You can see everything about it, as well as the traits, light, generation, rarity as the genetic values, especially as it pertains to the game that you're already playing, right? So again, these marketplaces are really critical to, all the game economies, right? It makes core gameplay, right? And it's just game ownership too. So, that's kind of wild, really. There are like these interoperable marketplaces where you can just buy, sell, trade, all the stuff you have in game. We don't really see that in Web 2, right? But again, if you also there's also an analyze tab, so you can kind of see all time history of the prices too. So you can see the game health of your you can see the economy health of your game, as well as where prices are going too. So, there's also a live feed of everything that's happening all at once. So, you can kind of see the previous sales. And then, again, you can always click play, to take a look at the website. It'll pull up the website. You can just play from the in-game browser, but of course, I would just recommend going to the website. But again, you can use the full screen tab. But outside of games and outside of the marketplace, if you're already grinding your games, whether you're playing any of the game roster, you can take a look at quests, right? And quests are basically, if you're already playing the game, you might as well earn the gems inside of Treasure and, use those gems for rewards in the future, right? So, discover quests on Treasure, play your favorite games, participate in the community, and get rewarded. So you can earn gems for completing quests and unlock incredible rewards, right? So again, you can get started by claiming your Treasure tag. It's pretty easy, pretty simple. All you got to do is sign up with your social, and then I think you have to connect your wallet afterwards. But again, feel free to just take a look at the directions, when you visit the site yourself. So pretty easy, pretty simple. Again, there's also leaderboards as well. Okay, I'm just expose myself to get dunked on. But anyways, there's a lot of stuff for quests here. But again, there's also tournaments too, right? So, Treasure can host a lot of tournaments. The current live tournament right now is Kuro Beast X Small. So, the season 3 tournament, you can see everything about it. It'll have a basic video as well as, details about the tournaments. There's a tournament prize breakdown. So in first place, they're giving away a 1-of-1 Kuro Ancient Small, as well as second to 10th place. There's 500 Kuro each. You can kind of see when things close up too, so the end of March, and there are always instructions on how to participate, right? Whether that's joining the Discord, connecting your wallet, how to sign up. So again, you can sign up directly using your treasure tag right here. So pretty easy, pretty simple. You can also see where you are on the leaderboard as well as like MMR. So that's pretty awesome. That's pretty easy, pretty simple. But again, I already went over the marketplace, but why don't we just break down the trending collection? So again, if you want to see everything, the total ecosystem inside of Treasure DAO, across all games, of course, the trending collections is easy, but honestly, I would just probably recommend going to all collections, because then you can kind of see everything, especially if you're already playing. So, again, really big marketplace. There's a lot of game assets to take a look at, all denominated in Magic, of course. But again, outside of the marketplace, there's also, official events on the sidebar here. You can kind of see, hey, there's a Zverse event coming up. There's Treasure Create. There's also stuff that's happening in Realm, Kuro Beast, the Beacon, and of course the Treasure Quest as well. So there's a lot of stuff with that. Again, Treasure does host mints too. So there's a pretty easy way to kind of access, mints that are upcoming for games that are launching on Treasure and stuff like that. So there's one for Realm Marauders, but they've had past mints for like Kaiju cards, Knights of the Aether, Zverse, even the Beacon. So there's a lot of stuff happening there. But again, there's also this tab here that, if you're looking for partnerships, if, there's also that magic swap. So if you're looking to interact with the marketplace, then you can get magic using the AMM here. Or again, you can just use MoonPay if you want to just buy with your card. So that's pretty simple, pretty easy as well. But again, last but not least, the resources here are pretty important, especially if you're building or looking to port your game over to Treasure and integrate with the ecosystem. There's documents, how to build, there's that Magic Swap, Dune Crystal, or Balancer Crystal, and then there's also Dune Analytics, right? So that's pretty easy, pretty simple. There's a lot of resources that you can use. But outside of that, I definitely like Treasure as a platform. There are a lot of games to try out. There's definitely a lot of games already in the Arbitrum Arcade that we're going to take a look at as well. But outside of that, just pretty excited to, use my treasure tag, kind of show off everything inside of my, my badges and stuff like that, especially if you're earning in game. You can earn badges to, flex and clout, stuff like that. But outside of that, that's just kind of my, my breakdown of Treasure. Definitely try out the games. There's a lot of stuff to, figure out. The marketplace, all unified by Magic is really exciting. But again, that's just all I got. All the links will be in the description below. Definitely hit that like and subscribe button if you learned anything in this video. But outside of that, I'll see you guys in the Arbitrum Arcade. Peace.